Good morning, dear students. First, today we shall do some grammar activity. Okay, because we are almost nearing completion of our literature reader as well as supplementary readers. We are left with only 3 to 4 lessons. So we shall go a bit slow now. Okay, we shall go a bit slow now because we have finished around 95% syllabus. Okay, we have finished almost 95% syllabus from beehive and moments. Therefore we shall go a bit slow with our study of literature. Okay, whatever I have taught you so far, I shall revise them. Okay, and might be one day in a week I will take your test also. Okay, so that could be a live class test only. You shall be with me in the form of Google, in Google Forms. I can take your test and then I shall discuss the mistakes that you have done in the test. Okay, in live class. So dear students, we are left with from beehive we are left with excuse me dear students, hello না করছি না, তুমি সাড়ে করে আনতে পারবে? excuse me. So dear students, we are left with two prose lessons from beehive, that is the bond of love and if I were you. And from poetry we are left with on killing a tree. I think we have finished on killing a tree. We are left with only the snake trying. Okay, the snake trying. So we are left with two lessons from beehive, and from moments we are left with another two lessons, that is a house is not a home and the beggar. So total 4 lessons are left from beehive and moments, and rest of the lessons I have finished, some in the form of concept videos, and since I started my live classes with you, I have finished some more in live classes. So I have made the playlist. I shall update it for the last 1 month. I have updated till last month, and then this month I got to update my playlist of class 9. So you can go to uploaded videos as well as live videos. Okay, so as a revision you can sometimes watch the updated video also, and sometimes live class video also. Okay, so in the uploaded folder you shall find my concept videos, and my live class videos are available also in the playlist. Okay, so you please check out once. So we are left with, dear students, just 4 lessons. Okay, 4 lessons. So hopefully we shall wrap it up before Diwali. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, but that is why I shall go with at least grammar more frequently now, so that grammar and writing skill. Okay, I shall give you some task as well as tips, and you shall send me the answer in the form of PDF file, so that I can correct your mistake and send you back. Okay, writing skill and grammar we can do in the form of quiz. Okay, from my website live we can do grammar, because grammar needs a lot of discussion also. Therefore grammar I shall give you live. But when it comes to writing skill, and literature questions, you have to write down on a note and then convert in PDF and send it back to me. Okay, so dear students, thank you so much. Now let's do very quickly a quiz. Okay, we did it earlier, but just as a revision, let's do it once again. For example, these editing errors let's do first. Okay, just a revision exercise. Okay, so that you can recall some of the things that I have already taught you. Okay, so dear students, you tell me the answer of this. The body can be dash a permanent furnace. So we have already finished it. Yeah, Anusri, thank you, considered. Yes, okay. So dear students, what is the basic, let me tell you, what is the concept behind the answer being number 2? Let me explain you. So you can see, dear students, here, you can see always remember that after can be, shall be, will be, okay, or can have, shall have, will have, may have, after can have or can be, shall have or shall be, will have or will be, okay, we should use the third form of the verb. Always remember, we should use the third form of the verb. Okay, you understood, I suppose, third form. So this is the concept behind behind the answer being considered. Okay, because always remember, after be and after have, have should be like in present perfect tense, I have gone there. Okay, or with can have, shall have, should have, like you should have done this work, so we say should have done. Okay, so again you can see, after have, if we are using have in present perfect tense or has in present perfect tense, of course we need to use verb 3. And if we are not using have in present perfect tense, we are using somewhere else, then it should be like can have, should have, would have, could have, okay, may have. So always remember that in those circumstances, our answer should be followed by, our verb should be in V3 form. It should be in V3 form. Always remember, your students. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. We use V3 after be, not only be, after have also, like in present perfect tense, after has also, like in present perfect tense, and like in can be, shall be, will be also, and also after can have, shall have, may have, might have, etc. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay. What is the next question? You see, dear students, the food we take in is fuel. Dash the body burns up. The body, the food we take in, okay, the food that we eat, actually, the food that we eat is fuel. Yes, you are correct, which, but do you know why it is which, why not that? Because that also is equally correct, but there's a slight difference here. That is also correct, which is also correct, but in the sense in which we are using which, that can also be used in spoken sentence. We can use that mostly, actually. Okay, but here why we are using which, let me tell you the concept, let me tell you the rule, let me tell you. Dear students, you see there is a comma after fuel. Okay, there is a comma after fuel. So when there is a comma after fuel, it is called defining clause. It is a defining clause. So if it is defining clause, then we must use which, not that. And if there was no comma after fuel, in that case we could have used that. Okay, like the food we take in is fuel that the body burns up. Understood? If there was no comma, in that case our answer would have been that. Okay, but as there is a comma here, it means the entire clause is a defining clause, and for a defining clause we must use which in place of that. That is why our answer should be which. Okay, so there is a rule, dear students. This rule we must be able to understand. So here another reason is given. The word fuel will be followed by which, as the previous word before the blank denotes fuel, which is non-living. We should use which after. Okay, that is all right. Which and that, there is non-living, that is why we are using which. But we can also use that for non-living. Okay, so but why didn't we use that? Because it is a defining clause, and with defining clause we should always use which. Now let's move on to the next question. What is the next question? In this process, about 2500 calories being used every day in the body. In this process, about 2500 calories. So dear students, subject is 2500 calories. Subject is calories here. So as the subject is plural, therefore we've got to write number A as the answer. Yes, you are correct, dear students. All of you are correct. It should be R. Why R? Because the subject is here plural. So if the subject is plural, verb should also be plural. So therefore it is are being used, not is being used. Why? Because calories is plural, therefore are being used. Okay, so I am explaining you the rule actually, so that some of you do remember it. The word calories being plural, we should use a plural verb after it, so the verb is are. Okay, now dash enough heat to bring 23 liters of water to the boiling point. Okay, so here you can see ITS is given, IT apostrophe S is given, and theirs is also given. Okay, so do you know the answer of this question, dear students? Do you know the answer of this question? Okay, so most of you are writing B. Okay, so let me explain you. Dear students, its means it is, or like it is called contracted forms actually. Okay, you always remember that its, theirs, okay, they are the contracted forms actually. Okay, abbreviated forms, and they are basically used in spoken conversation or informal writing. We can use this. Suppose you are writing a letter or a mail to your friend, in that case you can use such expressions. So contractions are normally used for informal circumstances or in informal situation, like in spoken and written communication. Okay, so it means it has two meanings. It means it can be it is also, and it can also be it has. Okay, like if I say it's been said, it's been said. When I say it's been said, it will be it has been said. Okay, when I say it's been said means it has been said. Understood? When I say theirs means, see here number C is theirs. Theirs means there is. So it can be there is also, it can be there has also. Understood? So you always remember whenever it is its, it is either it is or it has. Okay, but in the first question it is the possessive form actually. It is, there is no apostrophe here, so it is not used in the same sense I spoke about. It is used as the possessive noun actually. You know what is possessive noun? Noun that shows possessive pronoun. Pronoun that shows possession. Possession means ownership. That is called possessive pronoun. The pronoun that shows ownership is called possessive pronoun. Okay, so very good. It's IT It's it apostrophe s is the correct answer. The sentence will start with it's, which means it is enough to heat. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. What dash to all this heat in the body? Okay, what dash to all this heat in the body? So dear students, Anusri has said C. Okay. Anusri said C. All are saying C. Very good. Nice. So what happens to all this heat in the body? Because it is a scientific fact. Dear students, always remember what is the logic. What is the logic for which you are selecting happens, that you should know. Okay. So you are selecting happens, not has happened or was happened or happened. You are selecting only happens just because it is a scientific fact. And always remember, dear students, when you are doing editing, when you are editing a passage which deals with scientific facts, in that case, in that passage, the verbs will always be in the present tense. Always remember that it is in present tense. Whenever a passage or a paragraph which is given for editing or missing words, okay, always remember that if that passage is the passage deals with scientific facts or universal facts or some kind of suggestions or advice, in that case the verbs used in that particular editing or missing words passage should always be in the present tense. Okay, so as what we are studying at the moment deals with scientific facts in our body, what happens in our body is a scientific truth, a scientific fact. Therefore all the verbs that we shall use should be in the simple present tense or present tense. So it should be happens. Okay, now let's move on to the next. As the subject matter deals with our body, so the verb that we shall use will be simple present, so the answer is happens. Okay, next you see, if there are no temperature controls in the body, we could certainly think of ourselves as hot stuff. Okay, so if there is it are or is it is or were or was. Okay, so can you please text me quickly your response? Asmita says it's where, and Ruksada said is C, Ayushi B. Okay, Anusri also says it's B. Yes, very good. So you are all correct, dear students. But why do you think it is where? Why not are or why not is? Or why not was? Okay, let me tell you, dear students. First of all, you see here you tell me. Okay, now I've got a question to you. You tell me which is the subject in this particular sentence, with which the verb has agreed. Tell me what is the subject in this sentence with which the verb has agreed. If there, suppose for example, if I write, if there were no temperature controls in the body. Now till this part, which is the subject with which the verb has agreed? Because we have already studied subject verb agreement. The verb always agrees with subject in number and person. So tell me, in this particular sentence, if there were no temperature controls in the body, in this particular sentence, which is the subject with which the verb were is agreeing? Vaibhav Power, okay. Vaibhav Power said controls. Yes, you are correct, Vaibhav. Why did you retrace your message? You are correct. The verb were is agreeing with the subject controls here. Okay, temperature controls here. Okay, so now the question is why it is where? Because it is called conditional clause, dear students. Conditional clause. Like for example, if I went there, I could see my friend or I could meet my friend. So see, if I went there, okay, I did not go there, but if I went there, I could see my friend. So this is condition. My seeing my friend or meeting my friend depends directly if I went there. Okay, if I did not go there, I would not meet my friend. So this is called conditional clause. Here also same thing you see. If there were no temperature controls in the body, we could certainly think of ourselves as hot stuff. Okay, means it is a conditional clause. There is our body is not hot stuff. Why? Because we have temperature controls in our body. So as we have temperature controls in our body, that regulates the heat in our body, that regulates the temperature in our body. Otherwise our body would have been nothing short of hot stuff. Understood? Therefore it is a conditional clause, and in conditional clause you always remember the verbs that are used are in past tense, always past tense, you remember. Okay, and the sentence always starts with if. Conditional if. The sentence always starts with conditional if. So if there were no temperature controls in the body, we could certainly think of ourselves as hot stuff. Understood? That is why the answer is where. So you've got to know the concept. Why it is where? Why it is not was? Why it is not is or are? As it is a conditional sentence, therefore the verb shall always be in simple past tense. The second part of the sentence gives the hint that the sentence is conditional, of course. And another word that gives us the hint that the sentence is conditional is the fact that the sentence starts with if. So if a sentence starts with if, always remember the sentence, that particular sentence is conditional. Okay, next. Dash, we all know that the heat of the body never goes up unless we are sick. Okay, unless we are sick. Dash, we all know that the heat of the body never goes up unless we are sick. If we are sick, only then the temperature goes up, and we feel fever, we have running temperature. Only when the body is somewhere it's not working properly, in that case. Otherwise, when we are completely okay, in that case our temperature is always regulated. Okay, it never goes up. Okay, so but we all know that the heat of the body never goes up. As this sentence is a contrast to the previous sentence, we shall use the conjunction but in the beginning of the sentence. Dear students, always remember, whenever two sentences are given and the second sentence is a contrast to what is said in the first sentence, then in the second sentence we should use the adverb part. This conjunction part. Always remember, dear students. Okay, when there are two sentences and the second sentence there is a contrast. So what is a contrast? Do you know the meaning of contrast? Let me tell you what is contrast. Suppose, for example, if I say Krishna is a very good student. Okay, I say Krishna is a very good student, and second sentence I say he needs to improve his performance in sports. So see, these two sentences, the second sentence is a contrast to the first sentence. He is very good in studies, but he needs to improve his performance in sports. So second sentence is a contrast to the first sentence, therefore I have used the word but here. Understood? So whenever we use two sentences, and if the second sentence is a contrast to what we have said in the first sentence, then in the second sentence we shall always use the conjunction but. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Our body heat remains dash an average temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. Our body heat remains at an average temperature. Okay, that at preposition is used, dear students. Okay, the preposition at is used to indicate a fixed degree of temperature. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Perspiration is one of the dash to keep our body furnace in a nice normal temperature. Perspiration means what, dear students? Perspiration means sweating. Okay, the process of sweating is called perspiration. So perspiration is one of the dash to keep our body furnace in a nice form normal temperature. Okay, so perspiration is one of the Anusri said number 2, Asmita also says number 2. Very good, both of you are correct. It's ways, because as I told you while teaching you subject verb agreement, one of the boys, one of the teachers, one of my friends, one of my brothers. So whenever we are using the structure one of, that should always be followed by the plural subject. Always remember, one of my friends, one of my brothers, one of my sisters, one of my teachers. So whenever we are using one of, okay, then always remember that one of is always followed by a plural subject. Okay, therefore one of the ways. It should not be way, because we have used one of, therefore it should be ways. Very good, both Asmita and Anusri. Okay, Anusri and Asmita, both of you remember, you have answered quickly, so the rest of you are also correct. Remember that the phrase one of the is always followed by a plural noun, so the answer is ways. Okay, now our body temperature is dash in the brain known as temperature center. Our body temperature is a passive structure, dear students. So in the passive voice, what happens, dear students? The verb is used in the third form. Asmita said number C. Yes, very good. Always remember that whenever Anusri controlled, very good. Okay, so whenever we use the passive structure, dear students, always remember that verb is always in the third form. Okay, so it is a passive structure. How do you know it is a passive structure? It is a passive structure because from the very sentence itself we can understand our body temperature is dash in the brain, controlled in the brain. Sorry. So controlled in the brain. So control is a passive structure. So this is the correct answer. Okay. We always use verb 3 after is, was, shall be, will be, can be, could be, may be, might be, etc. Okay. Yes, I have also told you in the very first example. We can also use verb 3 after can have, may have, shall have, should have, will have. Okay. Similarly, you can also use shall with shall be, will be, can be, could be, may be, might be, etc. Okay. Now, okay. So you have scored 100%. Thank you so much. So what was the basic purpose of this revision class? So that you understand, you can recall the rules of the grammar, because see, writing answers is okay, but we need to understand why we have selected a particular answer over some other answers. Why? Okay, so we need to know the reasons. When you learn the reasons, in that case what happens, dear students, in that case when you go to solve other related exercises, you will have very you will find it very comfortable, okay, and easy to solve. Otherwise, if you don't know the concept, if you don't know the rule of editing errors, subject verb agreement and tense related rules, in that case there is a chance of making mistakes. Okay, so we have discussed this today, and on Saturday we shall discuss on jumbled words. Okay, I shall give you jumbled words and you have to sort of work it out in front of me. Okay, or you can take your time, but it will be, I shall make it interesting, don't worry. So next time it could be gap filling and jumbled words. Okay, on next Saturday, and next Monday we shall start a new lesson. Okay, so please be present on my next class, so that we can practice some more grammar. Okay, grammar. Okay, and writing skill also next week I shall start writing skill practice. So thank you dear students, let me wind up now. Okay, bye bye, take care, and have a nice